Welcome into OutKick the show. I am your fearless leader, Clay Travis. I hope all of you are having fantastic Fridays wherever you may be across this great country or indeed around the world. I'm going to be on with, am I totally fully in my shot or is it a little bit out of whack? I don't have a normal return. I think I'm good. Everybody let me know if I'm good. I'm going to be on with Martha McCollum here in a sec. Yes, I look amazing. Great tan. Back from Mexico. But I want to tell you right off the top, it's playoff time almost. One more week right now left. Now or never to sign up with PrizePicks, where you can win up to 1,000 times your money. MasterCard for quick and easy deposits. MasterCard. I haven't heard that in a long time. Look, I got a pick for you. I love PrizePicks. You can play it in Texas. You can play it in Florida. You can play it in California. You can play it in Georgia. If you're feeling left out, you play $5. You get back $50 if you use code OutKick. And my pick for you this weekend, I think that we are going to continue to have Baker Mayfield on fire, more than 253.5 passing yards. I think Mike Evans is going to have more than 101.5 receiving yards. Joe Burrow is going to have more than 285.5 passing yards. Jamar Chase more than 94.5 receiving yards. That is 4 mores. It's easy. More on Baker passing, more on Joe Burrow passing, more on Mike Evans receiving, more on Jamar Chase receiving. If I'm right, 10-1. Download the app, use code OutKick, $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code OutKick, $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, run your game and run the game and join there. All right, I'm going to roll fast here because I'm going to be on with Fox News here at the bottom of the hour alongside of Tommy Lahren. I'll be back on Monday. Normal total week next week. But I want to start right here because I think this is really significant. First of all, congrats to Notre Dame. Marcus Freeman. It's interesting to me that when Marcus Freeman took over, a lot of people said, boy, this is a big promotion. I'm not sure exactly how he's going to take over and how well he's going to do. Because remember, he was a first-year defensive coordinator because Clark Lee had left and taken over on the Vanderbilt job. So I don't think anybody expected Brian Kelly to leave. Brian Kelly left and went to LSU. In 3 years, Brian Kelly has not had as big of a win in 3 years as Marcus Freeman had yesterday in the state of Louisiana. I would say the biggest win for Brian Kelly so far, the win over Alabama 2 years ago in Baton Rouge, is Brian Kelly's biggest win of the season. I think most of you would probably agree with that if you're LSU fans or you're college football fans. Marcus Freeman's win and Notre Dame's victory over Georgia is bigger than anything Brian Kelly has done. This is interesting because Brian Kelly left Notre Dame because he didn't believe he could win a championship there. He thought he had to go to LSU. Now Marcus Freeman is further than Brian Kelly has been at LSU. I just think that's an interesting dynamic. I want to give credit to everyone inside of that stadium, whether you're a Georgia Bulldog fan, whether you are a Notre Dame Fighting Irish fan, heck, whether you're just from New Orleans and you go every year to the Sugar Bowl. I've been to the Superdome for this game a lot. It's a fabulous event. I love New Orleans. It's a city filled with fantastic people who have a great joy for life. Let the good times roll. Laissez les bon temps rouler. Did I hit that right? I took French. I don't have good accents. I don't do accents in general. I did take French well, I took college too, in high school and college, so I speak un peu. Je m'appelle Clay. I know I'm blowing the world here. We're an international show now, all right? So, with that, all the cute girls were taking French. And ugly guys followed. But with that in mind, I loved the response that I saw inside of that stadium. If you didn't have chills on your arms when you heard everybody chanting USA at the end of the national anthem, the way that that audience responded during the moment of silence for victims, and then when Notre Dame ran on the field with that American flag, it was a moment that demonstrated American exceptionalism and the refusal to allow the terrorists to win. It's a moment you didn't see if you watched on ESPN. It's important. Sports at its best brings together all of us. White, black, Asian, Hispanic, gay, straight, male, female, rich, poor. What I love about sports is the idea that if you're at a hospital and you're the neurosurgeon or you're the janitor at that hospital and you eat in the employee cafeteria, the neurosurgeon and the janitor can sit down at a table together and talk about the local sports team as equals. Your opinion's as good as his, her opinion's as good as yours. You know when somebody likes sports or they don't. And when you talk sports, it connects us, man. I've seen this happen my whole career. You're in a stadium, your team scores. You're in an arena, your team makes a basket to win, and you're turning around and you're high-fiving everybody. You don't think about anything other than your common tribe. You're rooting for that same team. And those sports connections, man, they cross identities. And the same things happen when you play sports. Because the only thing that matters is the team and your individual talent. The meritocracy, baby. Nobody gets to start with a different score on the scoreboard, whether they went to a rich or poor school. Nobody gets to play by a different set of rules, whether they were the son of a rich kid or the daughter of a poor person. Everybody is the exact same between the lines, and the best man or the best woman wins. ESPN had a real opportunity yesterday. They could have shown that national anthem. They could have shown that United States flag. They could have shown Notre Dame running in Marcus Freeman right alongside the front of that team with a big old American flag. They could have shown that moment of silence, and they could have shown the Superdome coming together and chanting USA, USA, USA in the best possible response to an early morning terror attack on Bourbon Street. They didn't show any of it. They blamed timing. They said they lost track of time and they weren't able to show the anthem. They weren't able to show the moment of silence. They weren't able to show the USA chants, and they weren't able to show Notre Dame running on the field with that American flag. Iconic moment. I don't buy it. I know how TV works. They control the clock. They are in charge of it. They are the people who put the game on. Do you know who managed to show? And by the way, you can go see it. I encourage you to go see it. It's posted at OutKick. You have to go to social media to see all the things that I'm telling you happen, to see them actually happen, because ESPN didn't allow you to see it. The SEC network did, though. Wait a minute. How did the SEC network manage to show all that? How did they manage to get their clock right when ESPN couldn't? I'll tell you. Because ESPN employs a lot of people who hate America and hate the American flag and actually want to be divisive, not to bring us together. That's the reality. Now, to be fair, ESPN employs a lot of really good people. But the corporate DEI culture of ESPN, it doesn't allow the meritocracy to win. It doesn't allow all of us, white, black, Asian, Hispanic, to come together and celebrate as one and let terrorists know they're never going to win. And I think it's sad that I have to say this, that OutKick has to write about it. The headline should have been, man, look at this amazing moment as everybody chants USA. Look at this phenomenal image as Notre Dame runs on the field, led by a player carrying the American flag. What an incredible response from everybody inside of the Sugar Bowl in that Superdome at that game a day after it had to be rescheduled, letting the terrorists know they're not going to win. I hate that I have to start a show talking about this, but it's important. They're lying to you. Some of the DEI bureaucrats at ESPN chose not to show you this because they don't love America like you and I love America and like most of the country does. They're using sports to divide us instead of bring us together. And I'm going to keep fighting this battle till we officially win it. And let me tell you, we are winning. Do you know the 2024 election is actually the least racially divisive election in the United States, going all the way back to 1964? That is, almost none of you watching or listening to me right now have ever lived in an American country where there has been less racial divisiveness in an election than in Donald Trump's win in 2024. Most media aren't talking about it. Certainly most leftists who hate America, like ESPN's bureaucrat employees, DEI promoted, they're not telling you. Do you know the only group that Kamala Harris increased support in from 2020 to 2024 on a nationwide basis? White people. Black, Asian, and Hispanic people all moved substantially in the direction of Donald Trump. It's actually amazing. Trump is actually creating a world where there is less racial division than at any point in anybody's life who is watching this right now. It's a really good thing. Because overwhelmingly, the legacy media like ESPN, which has created things to try to pull us apart and employs a lot of people who constantly want to hit the identity politics button and try to tear us apart, the OutKicks of the world are winning. We really are. You can see it in the data. White, black, Asian, Hispanic, more people of a greater variety of racial diversity agreed about electing Donald Trump in 2024 than have agreed about electing any president since 1964, since the civil rights movement started. Wasn't Obama 08, wasn't Ronald Reagan 84, wasn't Joe Biden 2020. The most racially diverse coalition to ever elect a president in the last 60 years was Donald Trump 2024. Trump didn't win because of racist white people. In fact, racist white people actually voted for Kamala more. He won because of white, black, Asian, and Hispanic people with common sense who love this country and want to make it even greater than it already is. And boys and girls, I think that's really damn awesome. So I want to make sure, if nobody else is going to tell it to you, I want to make sure that I do. And I want to make sure that I call out divisiveness when I see it. And I want to make sure I call out people, regardless of who they are, who aren't willing to acknowledge good and evil. Like the idiot CEO of Allstate, Tom Wilson. Now, I understand Allstate, like all of companies, has a variety of employees of a variety of different backgrounds. But if you all care about anything at all, you should fire this moron. Because before the Sugar Bowl started, this moron, Tom Wilson, he said that we had to combat divisiveness and negativity and acknowledge our imperfections. And he said that after an ISIS terror attack on Bourbon Street that killed 14 people. Listen to me carefully, you ignorant twat. Tom Wilson, CEO of Allstate. Nobody's got to apologize for divisiveness or negativity or imperfection. It wasn't imperfection that caused this terror attack. It was hate, and it was evil, and it should be condemned utterly. It's not complicated. You got an entire team of idiot PR people who drafted a statement for you, which managed to not condemn terrorism at all and actually lecture Americans for not being willing to deal with imperfections and for believing too much in divisiveness and negativity. Guess what? I think we got to kill every terrorist in America that wants to kill us before they can do it. They are evil. I just came from Israel. If you are intent because of your religion, or frankly for any reason, on trying to kill Americans, you are evil, and we got to kill you first. And I will never apologize for wanting to kill terrorists, and I will never apologize for standing up to evil. And the fact that you did both makes you, in my opinion, unworthy of being CEO of a place like Allstate. And certainly unworthy of making $16 million freaking dollars a year to be the CEO. Guess what, dipshit? I could do your job along with do Clay and Buck, run OutKick, and do all the media that I do, and nobody would even notice. Allstate would keep right on rolling around because it's a great business, because they sell a product that most people never have to use. And let me just say this. The reason why people dislike insurance companies is because of mealy-mouthed losers like you, but also because it's the only business in America that exists that you pay for and hope to never use. Whether it's life insurance, whether it's homeowners insurance, car insurance, health insurance, the entire industry sells you something you hope you never have to use, and then if you have to use it, they make it as difficult as possible because they're dickheads like you. All right? So I think they should fire this moron. I think they should apologize to America and say, hey, we're Allstate. We want to fucking kill terrorists, and we're not going to apologize for it. Hell, I wish I had my own insurance company right now because our only tagline would be, fuck terrorists, sign up for us. By the way, that should be the tagline. I'm drinking it right now of our Crockett Coffee Company, which is going to do $10 million in sales in 2025 because of you guys. CrockettCoffee.com. Because of you guys signing up and already doing millions of revenue. I love you guys. We're going to continue to build it. Fuck terrorists, drink Crockett Coffee. Fuck terrorist should be an easy message to roll with after they killed 14 innocent people on Bourbon Street, as I talked about yesterday and as I'm going to be talking about on Fox News in a moment. This is what globalize the Intifada means. All right. I'm about to have to do television. Let me check the latest here. I'll be on television, 3:30 Eastern, Fox News here in a couple of minutes. What else did I jot down? I want to hit this. I told you yesterday that I would tell you, way less serious. I told you yesterday that I would tell you the 4 best quarterbacks in the NFL. And so I'm going to clip this. It's going to go viral. All of you are going to fight in the mentions. But it's pretty simple. There are 4 quarterbacks that in 2024 in the NFL put themselves on a different caliber, a different level than anyone else. You can argue about the order in which these 4 quarterbacks should be ranked, but beyond a shadow of a doubt, these are the 4 best quarterbacks in the NFL. My personal ranking, number 1, Patrick Mahomes. He has won 3 Super Bowls. He has won 3 MVPs. He is the best quarterback in the NFL. At the top of the best team, 15-1 Kansas City Chiefs, who are the favorite to win the Super Bowl yet again. Patrick Mahomes, best quarterback in the NFL. In second place, in my opinion, Josh Allen. I actually think Josh Allen has had the best season running, passing, and relative to record, which the quarterback has a lot to do with, and also relative to weapons that the quarterback has, of any quarterback in the NFL this year. Now, Mahomes hasn't had great receivers. I've got him 1 overall. I think he's the best. I don't think he had the best season that he's had. Josh Allen did. Josh Allen, to me, unquestioned MVP. You got morons like Ryan Clark at ESPN trying to argue for Lamar Jackson. I'll talk about that. But Josh Allen no MVPs he's ever won, has had as good of a start to his career as any quarterback in the history of the NFL. And he is, in my opinion, the single best quarterback in the NFL this particular season. But I've got him second best overall when you consider multiple seasons. Mahomes 1, Josh Allen 2. Third place, Lamar Jackson. Ryan Clark, who is one of those people at ESPN that engages in racial divisiveness and identity politics, he's basically Carlton without the great dance moves. He is who's the guy from 8 Mile who went to Cranbrook? Clarence. He's Clarence. He's desperately insecure inside of his own skin, and so he feels the need to constantly tell you what his race is. That's Ryan Clark in general. Unfortunately, ESPN pays him. He's not particularly talented at anything. He said he would debate anyone, anytime, any place. I said I would debate him. He didn't respond. I would wipe the floor with that guy. I think his career would be over if we sat and talked for an hour and actually debated issues in the country. And I think he knows it, which is why he won't do it. He's ultimately a coward and he's insecure. But he's trying to put his own racial insecurity into Lamar Jackson as his Trojan horse. Look, Lamar Jackson's had an incredible year. You know who he's handing off to this year? Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry, trust me, has made a lot of bad quarterbacks, Ryan Tannehill, look like they're all-pro quarterbacks. Ryan Tannehill had no career until he started being able to hand off to Derrick Henry, and then he turned into a $100 million quarterback. You think that's coincidental? Miami Dolphins said, we're done with you. Why is Derrick Henry such a threat? Because every time you fake a play-action handoff to Derrick Henry, everybody on the entire field reacts. And if you need a first down, Derrick Henry is maybe the best in the NFL at getting it. So Derrick Henry's close to 2,000 yards rushing this year, which is why I think Lamar Jackson has had a far better passing year than ever in his history, and nobody talks about it. Don't you have to give Derrick Henry a little bit of credit? He's the greatest running back of his generation. Lamar Jackson is the best quarterback he's ever played with, but he was good enough to make Ryan Tannehill an all-pro. He was good enough to get Ryan Tannehill $100 million. Without Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill's entire quarterback career is worthless. With Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson has become the best passing version of himself that he's ever been. This is not coincidental. I predicted it before the season started. But that is why I have Lamar Jackson at third and why I have Josh Allen as the MVP, because Lamar Jackson has far better weapons at his disposal than Josh Allen does, primarily Lamar Jackson. You put Lamar Jackson lining up behind, you put Derrick Henry lining up behind Josh Allen, the Bills would be undefeated this year. If Josh Allen had Derrick Henry, the Bills would be undefeated this year. Numbers would be even better. You couldn't cover anybody down the field. So I've got Lamar Jackson at 3, and then I have Joe Burrow at 4. Now, you can argue about what order those guys should be ranked in right now. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, that is the Mount Rushmore best quarterbacks in the NFL as I speak to you, not only based on what they did in 2024, but off the last several years, the 4 best quarterbacks in the NFL. I defy anyone else to argue for anyone else. You can argue different rankings. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, in that order. Finito. I love all of you. I'm going to do Fox News now. You can flip it over to Fox News and watch me. My name's Clay Travis. DBAP unless you need to SBAP. This has been OutKick the Show. God bless America, and God bless all of you inside of the Superdome who stood up and chanted USA in response to true evil after that terror attack in New Orleans. Love y'all. See you Monday.